A very good morning, students. How are you doing? I hope you are well and doing great at your home. Today, I am going to explain you class ninth Beehive book, chapter 9 Bond of Love. This is written by Kenneth Anderson. Let us see the introduction of this chapter. This story highlights the emotional bond between human beings and animals. The narrator's wife shares affection with a wild bear and they get attached to each other and shows that animals have feelings and reciprocate to love with warmth and affection. Let us see the explanation of the chapter. I will begin with Bruno, my wife's pet sloth bear. I got him for her by accident. 2 years ago, we were passing through the sugarcane fields near Mysore. People were driving away the wild pigs from the fields by shooting at them. Some were shot and some escaped. We thought that everything was over when suddenly a black sloth bear came out panting in the hot sun. Panting means taking short, quick breaths. हाँफना. Okay? Just like आप दौड़ते हो बहुत तेज तो आप हाँफने लग जाते हो. That is. Let us see the explanation. The narrator's wife got a pet sloth bear as a pet due to an accident. 2 years before the time when this story was written, the narrator and his friends were passing through sugarcane fields near Mysore. Farmers were driving out pigs from their fields by shooting at them. As it was apparently over, suddenly a sloth bear appeared from the fields. It was breathing heavily due to running and the excessive heat. Now I will not shoot a sloth bear wantonly, but unfortunately for the poor beast, one of my companions did not feel that way about it and promptly shot the bear on the spot. Wantonly means for no use, for not good reason. The narrator says that he would never shoot at a bear without any reason, but one of his companions did, and the bear was shot dead. As we reached the fallen animal, we were surprised to see that the black fur on its back moved and left the prostrate body. Then we saw it was a baby bear that had been riding on its mother's back when the sudden shot had killed her. The little creature ran around its prostrate parent, making a pitiful noise. Prostrate means lying on the ground facing downward. The animal lay on the ground, but a part of its furry black, furry black body moved. It was a baby bear that had been lying on the mother bear's back. Now that the mother bear was dead, the baby got up and ran around the mother's body crying. I ran up to it to attempt a capture. It scotted into the sugarcane field. Following it with my companions, I was at last able to grab it by the scruff of its neck while it snapped and tried to scratch me with its long hooked claws. Scooted means ran away. Scruff of the neck. Take hold of the back of the neck or collar suddenly and roughly. The narrator tried to catch the baby bear. The bear escaped into the sugarcane field. The group chased it and finally the narrator caught hold of it from the back of its neck. The bear tried to scratch them with its hook shaped claws. We put it in one of the gunny bags we had brought, and when I got back to Bangalore, I duly presented it to my wife. She was delighted. She at once put a colored ribbon around its neck, and after discovering the cub was a boy, she christened it Bruno. Christened it means named it. The group stuffed the bear in a gunny bag and took it to Bangalore. The narrator gifted the beer cup to his wife. She was happy to have it, tied a colored ribbon around his neck. As it was a male cub, she named it Bruno. Bruno soon took to drinking milk from a bottle. It was but a step further, and within a very few days, she started eating and drinking else. And everything is right word for he ate porridge made from any ingredients, vegetables, fruit, nuts, meat, curry, and nice, regardless of condiments and chilies, bread, eggs, chocolates, sweets, pudding, ice cream, etc., etc., etc. As for drink, milk, tea, coffee, lime juice, aerated water, buttermilk, beer, alcoholic liquor, and in fact, anything liquid, it all went down with relish. Condiments means spices. Relish means great enjoyment. The bear drank milk from a bottle. After a few days, it started drinking and eating many things. Everything and anything. The bear enjoyed eating and drinking. The bear became very attached to our two Alsatian dogs and to all the children of the tenants living in our bungalow. He was left quite free in his younger days and spent his time in playing, running into the kitchen, and going to sleep in our beds. It became friendly with the narrator's Alsatian dogs, also with the tenants' children who lived in the narrator's bungalow. As the bear was left free, it played, ran around the house, and even slept in the narrator's bed. One day, an incident befell him. I put down poison to kill the rats and mice that had got into my library. Bruno entered the library as he often did, and he ate some of the poison. Paralysis set it in to the extent that he could not stand on his feet. But he dragged himself on his stumps to my wife, who called me. I guessed what had happened. Off I rushed in the car to the vet's residence. A case of poisoning, tame beer, barium carbonate, what to do? Accidentally, Bruno drank the poison kept in the library to kill rats. He was paralyzed and could not stand on his feet. As it reached the narrator's wife, he called him and he realized what had happened. He took Bruno to a veterinary doctor. Out came his medical books, and a feverish reference to index began. What poison did you say, sir? Barium carbonate. A. Yes. Barium salts. A. Barium carbonate. Symptoms: paralysis. Treatment: injection of. Just a minute, sir. I am. I will bring my syringe and the medicine. A dash back to the car. Bruno still floundering about on his stumps, but clearly weakening rapidly. Some vomiting, heavy breathing, with having flanks and gaping mouth. Floundering means struggling to move. Heaving means taking deep breaths. Flanks, the side of the body between the ribs and hips. Gaping means wide open. The doctor took out his medical books and searched the index for poisoning by barium carbonate. He took out a syringe and the medicine. Bruno was struggling to move, vomiting, breathing heavily, and his mouth was wide open. Hold him, everybody. In goes the hypodermic. Bruno squeals. 10 cc of the antidote enters his system without a drop being wasted. 10 minutes later, condition unchanged. Another 10 cc injected. 10 minutes later, breathing less stereotorus. Bruno can move his arms and legs a little, although he cannot stand yet. 30 minutes later, Bruno gets up and has a great feed. He looks at us disdainfully, as much as to say, "What's barium carbonate to a big black bear like me?" Bruno is still eating. Hypodermic means a long needle used to give an injection under the skin. Sequels means creams. Antidote means a medicine taken or given to counteract a particular poison. Stereotaurus means noisy, disdainfully means disapprovingly. The doctor asked everyone to hold Bruno. As it screamed, the medicine was injected. As the condition did not change, another injection was given. 10 minutes later, Bruno's breathing eased. It could stand after 30 minutes and ate food. It gave them such a look which showed that it had been fine all the time and as if nothing had happened to it. Another time he found nearly 1 gallon of old engine oil which I had drained from the sump of the stud baker and was keeping as a weapon against the inroads of the termites. He promptly drank the lot, but it had no ill effects whatever. The sump means the base of an internal combustion engine, which serves as a reservoir of oil for the lubrication system. Studebaker, an old American car. In another incident, Bruno drank the used engine oil which the narrator had taken out of his Studebaker car and had kept to get rid of termite. That did not affect Bruno. The months rolled on, and Bruno had grown many times the size he had when he came. He had equaled the Alsatian in height and had even outgrown them, but was just as sweet, as mischievous, just as playful, and he was very fond of us all. Above all, he loved my wife, and he loved him too. She loved him too. He had changed his name from Bruno to Baba, a Hindustani word signifying small boy, and he could do a few tricks too. At the command Baba wrestle, Baba box, he vigorously tackled anyone who came forward for a rough and tumble. Give him a stick and say, Baba, hold gun, and he pointed the stick at you. Ask him, Baba, where is baby? And he immediately produced and cradled affectionately a stump of wood which he had carefully concealed in his straw bed. But because of the tenant's children, poor Bruno or Baba had to be kept chained most of the time. Concealed means hidden. As the days passed, Bruno grew bigger and outgrew the Alsatian dogs. Means he became bigger than the Alsatian dogs too. Still, it was sweet, naughty, and playful like before. He was fond of everyone. The narrator's wife was very attached to Bruno and vice versa. He changed his name to Baba, which means a small boy in Hindustani language. Baba did some tricks. When he was ordered Baba wrestle or Baba box, he would wrestle the person and overpower him. When commanded Baba hold gun, he would point a stick at the person as if ready to shoot him. When asked Baba where is baby, he would take out a piece of wood and cradle it affectionately like a baby. He had hidden the piece of wood under the straw bed. As he had grown big, he was chained because he could be a threat. He could be a danger to the tenant's children. Then my son and I advised my wife and friends advised her too to give Baba to the Jew as at Mysore. He was getting too big to keep at home. After some weeks of such advice, she at last consented. Hastily and before she could change her mind, a letter was written to the curator of the Jew. Did he want a tame bear for his collection? He replied yes. The Jew sent a cage from Mysore in a lorry, a distance of 87 miles, and Baba was packed off. Curator means a person in charge of the Jew. Fretting means worried, unhappy. The narrator and his son advised to send Baba to the zoo. When his wife was advised so by the friends too, she agreed and a letter was written to the zoo in charge to inquire if he would like it to keep a bear at zoo. He affirmed and then Baba was sent to Mysore Zoo, packed in a cage kept on a lorry. He travelled a distance of 87 miles to reach the zoo. We all missed him greatly, but in a sense, we were relieved. My wife was inconsolable. She wept and fretted. For the first few days, she would not eat anything. Then she wrote a number of letters to the curator. How was Baba? Back came the replies, well, but fretting. He refuses food too. Inconsolable means so sad that can't be comforted. Fretting means unhappy. Although everyone missed Baba, but they were relaxed too. The narrator's wife was disturbed. She wept and worried about Baba's well being. Initially, she did not eat or drink. She wrote a letter to the zoo in charge to inquire about Baba. He replied that Baba was also undergoing a similar situation like her. After that, friends visiting Mysore were back to back make a point of going to the zoo and seeing how Baba was getting along. They reported that he was well but looked very thin and said all the keepers at the zoo said he was fretting. For 3 months, I managed to restrain my wife from visiting Mysore. Then she said one day, I must see Baba. Either you take me by car or I will go myself by bus or train. So I took her by car. Restrain means stop. She would ask her friends visiting Mysore to visit Baba and check out on him. Everyone gave a similar report that Baba was fine but appeared him thin and sad. The staff at the zoo said he seemed worried. The narrator restrained his wife, stopped his wife visiting the zoo for 3 months. One day she said that she wanted to see Baba and if he wanted not to take her, then she would go herself by train or bus. Finally, they went to see Baba at the zoo. Friends had conjured that the bear would not recognize her. I had thought so too. But while she was yet some yards from his cage, Baba saw her and recognized her. He howled with happiness. She ran up to him, petted him through the bars, and he stood on his head in delight. Hold means a long, loud, emotional sound. Conjured means formed an opinion by guessing. Delight means happiness. Their friends had predicted that Baba could not recognize her as the narrator had thought so too. But to his amazement, she was a few steps away from the cage. Then Baba saw her and recognized her. He screamed with happiness. She ran up to him. She petted him, and Baba was very happy to have her back. For the next 3 hours, she would not leave that cage. She gave him tea, lemonade, cakes, ice cream, and whatnot. Then closing time came and we had to leave. My wife cried bitterly. Baba cried bitterly. Even the hardened curator and the keepers felt depressed. As for me, I had reconciled myself to what I know I knew was going to happen next. She remained there for 3 hours. She fed Baba different things which were his favorites. As the Jew had to close, they had to leave. The narrator's wife did not want to leave Baba and both of them cried bitterly. Even the Jew in charge was sad. The narrator was fine because he knew that the next step would be to take Baba back along to Bengaluru. Oh, please, sir, she asked the curator. May I have my Baba back? Hesitatingly, he answered, Madam, he belongs to the zoo and is government property now. I cannot give away government property. But if my boss, the superintendent at Bangalore, agrees, certainly you may have him back. The wife requested the in charge that he wanted to take Baba back. He replied that the bear was government property and that she needed permission from the superintendent in Bangalore. There followed the return journey to Bangalore and a visit to the superintendent's bungalow. A tearful pleading, Baba and I are both fretting for each other. Will you please give him back to me? He was a kind hearted man and consented. Not only that, but he wrote to the curator telling him to lend us a cage for transporting the bear to Bangalore. They returned to Bangalore and visited the superintendent at his bungalow. She cried and requested that both of them had been worrying for each other. She requested to have Baba back. The superintendent was a kind-hearted man and he accepted her request. He wrote to the zoo in charge to arrange a cage for transporting Baba to Bangalore. Back we went to Mysore again. Armed with the superintendent's letter, Baba was driven into a small cage and hoisted on top of the car. The cage was tied securely and a slow and careful return journey to Bangalore was accomplished. Hoisted means raised by means of ropes or pulleys. Accomplished means completed. They went to Mysore with the superintendent's letter. Baba was put in a cage and the cage was kept on the top of the car. It was tied securely and they returned to the Bengaluru. Once home, a squad of coolies were engaged for special work in our compound. An island was made for Baba. It was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide and was surrounded by a dry pit or moat, 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep. A wooden box that once housed fowls was brought and put on the island for Baba to sleep in at night. Straw was placed inside to keep him warm and his baby, the gnarled stump, along with his gun, the piece of bamboo, both of which had been sentimentally preserved, since he had been sent away to the zoo, were put back for him to play with. Squad means team, gnarled means rugged, twisted. At their home in Bengaluru, a team of workers was employed to execute some work in the backyard. As Baba was a full grown bear, he had to be kept isolated. So, an island which was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide was built. It was surrounded by a dry pit which was 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep. It was made like this because the bear would not be able to cross the pit over to areas which were inhabited by people as it could be a danger to them. Things which were used by Baba had been kept securely. These were kept on the island. They were wooden box which was previously used to keep cocks and hens and would now be used by Baba to sleep in at night. Straw was kept in the box to keep him warm. The piece of wood which Baba cradled like a baby, the stick that he used to point a gun, were also placed on the island so that he could play with them. In a few days, the coolies hoisted the cage onto the island and Baba was released. He was delighted. Standing on his hind legs, he pointed his gun and cradled his baby. My wife spent hours sitting on a chair there while he sat on her lap. He was 15 months old and pretty heavy too. Explanation: when the place was ready, the workers placed the cage on the island and Baba was removed from it. He was happy to be free, stood on his back legs, pointed the stick, and cradled the piece of wood. The narrator's wife spent many hours with him as he lay in her lap, although he was 15 months old and was quite heavy in weight. The way my wife reaches the island and leaves it is interesting. I have tied a rope to the overhanging branch of a mango tree with a loop at its end. Putting one foot in the loop, he kicks off with the other to bridge the 6 foot gap that constitutes the width of the surrounding pit. The return journey is made the same way, but who can say now that a sloth bear has no sense of affection, no memory, no individual characteristics? Uh, Now let us see explanation. Narrator's wife visits Baba frequently and the way in which she reaches and leaves the island is interesting. They have a rope tied to a mango tree with a loop at one end. She would place one foot in the loop and kick off with the other. This way she would fly in the air to cover the 6 foot long distance to reach the island. She would make the return trip in a similar way, On seeing the affection shared by Baba and the narrator's wife, we can conclude that animals have emotions, they remember people, and all of them have individual qualities just like human beings have. This is all students. Students, here is a point that animals also have human characteristics. They also love. Even wild animal like bear have emotions. This is all students. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe my channel also. After